All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the 1000 video special. Wow. Can you believe we actually made it this far? Because I don't. I can't believe we actually made it to 1K videos on this channel. It's a very big milestone, a special day today. And what better way to celebrate it than with you guys? So just wanted to start off with saying thank you to everybody who has been supportive of the channel. It has been a long journey for sure. I started this channel back in 2014 after my 13th birthday, and I've been filming trains ever since. So it's fantastic that we made it this far. Just wanted to thank all the new subscribers as well, because we have had quite a bit of new people on the channel. So welcome and thank you for your subscriptions. It's a pleasure to have you on the channel. So yeah, as I said, for this 1000 video, you can probably see on the screen various images of the train catches I've had since I started my channel. And yeah, these are the top picks that I selected for this video. And I hope you will enjoy this. So without further ado, let's start the Q&A session. I have the questions already here on my screen. So the first one comes from Dom AZ or Dom Arizona. He is asking, what is the most unexpected and memorable catch that I did? All right. So I've had a couple of neat finds over the years, but I would say that the most unexpected and memorable catch so far was from January of 2023. I caught two things actually. I caught an executive Mac, number 9796 for BNSF. And I also caught BNSF 3119, which is an ex-Burlington Northern unit. And so when I filmed these two at Commerce Yard, I was not expecting to see these. I just dropped by the area to see what was there. And I wasn't expecting much, to be honest with you. So when I saw the executive Mac pulling out of the yard into the opening between the locomotives, I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I definitely did not expect that. It's in fact, this catch was so memorable that it's my current profile picture. If you haven't noticed, I changed my profile picture, and it has that executive Mac right there. And also BNSF 3119, it was doing a local that day. It was pulling out, I believe, some boxcars from the nearby facility. Was not expecting it, especially to be leading that day or that night. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see BNSF 3119, that XBN unit. Did not expect it to be there. And it's pretty cool because there was also an H1 unit trailing as well on that same train. So that's fantastic. It's a fantastic moment. So yeah, those were my unexpected and memorable catches so far. There's many more, but if I had to pick one, this would have to be it. So thank you, Dom, for the question. And I appreciate your constant support on the videos here. So I'm very happy to have you here. All right, so let's move on to the next question by Go Garbage. So his question is, what do you do for a living and what got you into starting the channel? Fantastic questions. So to answer that first question, I don't have a job yet. I'm a senior student at university, so I'm in the process of completing my college degree. And once that's finished, I'll probably get a job. And I'll probably start with a entry-level job in writing because that's what I'm studying for. And I'm looking to be a writer. So yeah, it just makes sense to get a writing job. That's what my degree is on. Probably start with a company nearby my home. I think they need a couple of writers that can do reports and analysis and statistics. So that's what I'll do for the meantime. Then later on, I'll probably branch out into writing fiction and maybe my own autobiography. Who knows? But that's the plan for now. And then the second question, well, it's a bit of a long history, so I don't think I've ever told people before. But back in 2006, I used to go with my dad into the Wilmington, California area because he's been a truck driver for many years. So some Saturdays he would take me to Wilmington because sometimes he had to turn in some late logs and information to the company he worked for. And at the time, those were like my earliest memories of railroad crossings and everything. I remember back in 2006, I was on Harry Bridges Boulevard / Alameda Street, right before Eubank. And that railroad crossing used to have full mechanical bells. They had 2 WCH mechanical bells at the time. And I remember that would activate sometimes, and we would go through there, and then I could hear the mechanical bells ringing and the incandescent lights flashing, followed by some train horn. And I believe it was Pacific Harbor Line that would cross that area when I was there. And at the time, I obviously didn't know much about railroads, so I was like, well, cool. Although, fun fact, back then, I wasn't really into the trains. So, in fact, that the train horn would actually scare me back then, so I would sometimes cover my ears and be like, let's get this over with already. Which is funny because now I'm actually into that stuff. So it's pretty funny. So yeah, that's where it all started. But I didn't start recording until 2013. That's when I finally started to get into the railfanning. And I would say what got me into it at last was, I started to go to Wilmington and Long Beach a lot more. And at the time, it was just to do some stuff with my dad. And I would hear these train horns at the nearby crossings. And I was like, that sounds pretty nice. Then we would start driving around there as part of our route. And I would see these various trains. And I was like, I think that's pretty cool. And then one day I was just going through YouTube. And I got curious. I was like, do people actually record trains? So I actually did a YouTube search for train videos, and I was like, wow, there's actually a lot to explore here. So I was actually surprised to see a lot of train videos. I was like, I didn't know people did this. I didn't know this was a hobby. So I got hooked. I started binge watching a bunch of train videos by various people. And that got me hooked. Like, just seeing the amount of train action, the length of them, the different types of cargo, and the horns and railroad crossings, that was what finally got me into the hobby. So at first, I would ask my dad to drive me around Wilmington and Long Beach and just check out the railroads. I didn't have a camera at the time, so I just look at the trains by themselves. I didn't record anything. Then a bit later, around summer of 2013, that's when I tried to make my first video for YouTube. And if you want, you can go to the archives, or you can just search up on the YouTube search bar. You can go and put Eric File Productions first video, and you'll find it. It is this very crappy quality video that I made with my laptop camera, because like I said, I didn't have a camera, so I had to use whatever I had at the time. But it was an attempt, and I filmed my first video at 9th Street Crossing in Long Beach, which is now closed. But yeah, that was my first ever video for YouTube. And then between July and January of 2014, I started using I found an old camcorder, and I don't even know if you guys are familiar with these, but these are camcorders that you used to need to have cassette tapes to record with. Now we have these chips, but back then those cameras take cassette tapes, and I had one of those around, and I found it, and I started to record trains. But of course, there was no way to upload those videos because, they're on cassette tapes. I don't know how to transfer that to a computer like my MacBook Pro, which only takes chips. I'm sure there's ways to do it, but I don't have that necessary software and hardware to do it. But for now, basically everything that was filmed in 2013, that's lost footage until I can figure out how to export that. But yeah, pretty interesting. And during that time, I actually filmed a Ferromex unit that visited BNSF Watson Yard. But like I said, it's in those cassette tapes. I have the cassette tapes. I just don't know how to transfer that to the computer. So I'll research that, and maybe if I can figure out how to do it, I'll release the lost footage. So it'll be like Erica Fall Productions lost footage of 2013. And yeah, it's pretty nice. And then, from 2014 onward, I got a Samsung camcorder with chip. That's what I started using for my train videos. And then it wasn't until more recently that I started using my phone to make videos. And that's what I've been using, my iPhone 12 Pro Max. So yeah, excellent question, Go Garbage. Thank you for the questions. Great channel, by the way, with all your garbage truck compilations. They're very fun. All right, next question by Zug Irwin. His question is, do you prefer to film trains on the route, in the countryside, or at the station? All right, so I would like to film in the countryside more because there's a lot more scenery out there. And of course, there's a lot of places to go to. So Cajon Pass is one of those places that I really would like to go. It's a lot of wonderful mountains and just a gorgeous view of the entire region. And also Ventura County, around the coastal region, there's also a very nice landscape there with the beach and the mountains. It would be nice to film there someday. But most of my videos at the moment, I film them at stations such as Carmel Station, or I just film them at the port of Long Beach and Los Angeles, that region. That's where I mostly film for the time being, but definitely I would prefer to film in the countryside a bit more, just because there's a lot more scenery to take in. So we'll see if we can do it later this year. It just depends on time and money. So great question. Thank you, Zug Irwin. I enjoy your videos very much. So keep it up. All right. The next question is by Derail Daryl. His question is, what is your favorite train or concept to film? All right. My favorite trains to film are usually the container intermodal trains. I like filming the different types of containers and trailers that go on these trains. So, and especially since I've been doing this for a while at the port of Long Beach and Los Angeles, it makes sense that there's a lot of container trains there. So I definitely do like those types of trains. But I also like seeing the freights and the power moves. Those are good too. So yeah, great question, Derail Daryl. Thank you for your constant support on my videos. Really appreciate the support. All right. So the next question will come from NB Videos Presents. And this question is, who or what got you into trains? Well, I think I explained the what part of it when I answered Go Garbage's question. As for who, well, no one in particular, but I would say my inspiration was probably from YouTubers like Brian Lee Johnson. That's the name I remember most because I used to watch his videos at first when I first discovered the train videos on YouTube. So that was probably my primary inspiration. I watched a couple of other videos, but I don't remember who those people are. I don't remember the usernames that well. But yeah, that would be the who as far as who got me into the hobby. I'll say this as well. My parents are very supportive of the hobby. So when I first told them about wanting to do rail fanning, they were like, "Oh, cool. That's a very nice hobby. It's unusual, but they were like, it's cool. You can definitely do that." So yeah, I definitely thankful to my dad and my mom for supporting me on this hobby. They were pretty chill about it, and they've always been fine with me, going to film trains. And for the first few years of rail fanning before I got my driver's license, my dad would be very kind to take me to Long Beach, Wilmington, and just rail fan. So huge thank you to my dad for that. And yeah, great question, NB Videos Present. So thank you for the question. Great channel with all your elevator and metro announcement videos, as well as your general rail fanning content. Really enjoyed it. Keep it up. I have another question from PA Central Rail Fan. His question is, how many states have you been to or rail fanned in? And also, what is my favorite railroad of all time? All right, well, for the first question, I've never been out of state in the U.S., so I've only filmed in California. That's pretty much the only state I've ever rail fanned in. I've lived here all my life in California, but I've never had the chance to leave the state yet. So that's definitely something for the coming future. See if I can plan some trips to Arizona or Nevada, just to start off, and to see what's out there. And my favorite railroad of all time, I'm gonna say Pacific Harbor Line. It's the local railroad that runs in Wilmington and Long Beach. They serve the ports. I really like their locomotives and their rolling stock. And some of their locomotives have some nice horns. They have the P3 horn, which is a pretty nice horn to listen to whenever they sound it at the crossings. And there's a couple locomotives in their fleet that have it. So yeah, I really like PHL. But, you know, UP, BNSF, Amtrak, those are pretty nice as well. Especially when they come around with their heritage units. So yeah, that is my favorite railroad. Great questions, PA Central Rail Fan. And thank you for asking them. It's a pleasure to answer your questions here. And we have another question from Paul Moreno. And his question is, I was wondering how old you were when you started rail fanning. All right. So for this question, pretty simple. I was age 13. Well, actually, I was age 12. And started rail fanning in 2013. So if you look at my first video ever on my channel, it's a video from June 22nd, 2013. And it was pretty crappy quality, but, you know, I had to start somewhere. So yeah, I started when I was age 12, and yeah, it's pretty fun start to rail fanning. So thank you, Paul Moreno. Appreciate your support. Nice to meet you on this platform. And finally, the last question is from AmripDude499. And similar to questions that I've already answered, but his question is, who or what got you on YouTube? So for who, inspiration mainly came from YouTubers such as Brian Lee Johnson that were already posting videos at the time I started getting into the hobby. And the what's, well, I really got into these trains from just going out into the field, really. Just discovering the railroads in 2006 with those level crossings, and 2013 got serious about it once I started visiting the area more frequently, and I got hooked. Pretty cool stuff out there for sure. So great questions. So thank you, AmberDude499. Keep it up with your channel as well as your rail fanning channel, Desert High Iron. I really like your videos too on your rail fanning channel. So yeah, very nice. So thank you again, folks, for your questions and for helping us get to 1,000 videos. I really appreciate all the patronage and all the support and kind comments. Just wanted to say you are all wonderful people, and you really deserve a whole bunch of support on your content too. And too bad I can't do giveaways because I'm limited budget, but maybe in the coming future there might be some opportunities to give giveaways on the channel too, because I'm all about giving back to the community too. But for now, I'll keep supporting you by commenting on your videos and giving you those likes. And all users are welcome on the channel, and we'll keep supporting people as always. So that being said, thank you very much for 1,000 videos and for your support. We really wouldn't be here without you guys. So And I hope you enjoyed the images of the best train catches I've had since 2014. It's only like a little bit of all the... It only represents a bit of all the videos I've made, but I think these are pretty cool to share. So stay safe and stay well, everybody. The next special will probably be 5K subs, so if you want some more content and more interesting stuff, please do subscribe if you want to, and help us get to 5K so we can keep doing these special videos. I like making these. Alright folks, take care. And I know some people are going to have questions that are unanswered, or maybe they just didn't have the time to do it prior to this video. So if you still have any questions, please post them in the comments, and I may not be able to answer them in the video, but I will answer them in the comments. So yeah, thank you everybody for the wonderful support, and we will see you for more railfanning videos in this 2023 year. So keep it up, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.